Your insiders today, Chris Johnston and Darren Dreger. A report is ready on NHLPA head Donald Fehr's initial response to what happened to Kyle Beach in Chicago. So the question becomes, are we all going to see it?
Yes, sources do say, James, that this report will be made public by the NHL Players Association at some point on Thursday or perhaps on Friday. And as TSN's Rick Westhead reported earlier in the week, the 32 player reps from the teams had a chance to view the report. They've had a call on Monday night, and they've since been voting on whether to make it public. And our sources suggest that at least 18 of them have given the yes vote to make that go ahead. And so the report was prepared independently by a law firm from Toronto looking into Fehr's behavior and how he handled those allegations back in 2010.
All right, the Vancouver Canucks, 6 points out of a playoff spot, but a good recovery from where they were early in the season. And so Dreger's probably running out of time here to make the playoffs. But what happens with Bruce Boudreau? How close to a decision on whether or not he returns?
Well, there's a good chance that Bruce Boudreau will be back as head coach of the Vancouver Canucks, but they want to wait until the end of the season. And like all hockey operations departments across the National Hockey League, they'll go through that hockey ops review, and coaching will be a big part of that. The playoff dreams, as you've acknowledged, are fading for the Vancouver Canucks, but the games that they're playing matter to this group, and they matter to the coaches, and they matter to the management team. So they're going to wait until the end of the year. As I say, strong chance Boudreau is back, but further discussion required.
Not unusual for a couple of NCAA jobs to be available in any offseason, but Dregs, how rare is it to have this many high-profile openings?
I would say it's rare. You're right. I mean, coaching jobs come and go at all levels of hockey, but we're talking about 4 really big NCAA programs, potentially 4, 3 for sure. You're looking at Boston College, Jerry York is retiring. Boston University, you've got Albie O'Connell, who's dismissed. You've got Michigan State, Danton Cole was let go. And then you've got Michigan, Mel Pearson, and huge speculation that he's not going to be back. He's got an expiring contract. What's interesting, and I'm told fairly normal, is the fact that Michigan State, as an example, is leaning on its alumni. So we're talking about NHL stars like Ryan Miller. You're like a Justin Abdelkader, John Michael Lyles. Michigan State is using those almost similarly to the way the Anaheim Ducks used Correa and Niedermeyer in hiring Pat Verbeek. So we'll see, but those are coveted jobs that are causing a buzz around the NHL.
Coaching history to be made with Hockey Canada, the first woman to coach for a men's national team in an event.
Yeah, that comes next week when Corey Chevery is part of Nolan Baumgartner's staff at the World Under-18 Championships. And, this is notable on a couple levels. First of all, it's history. It's something that Chevery's done in the past at some of her previous roles. But also, many believe that she will eventually be the first woman to coach behind an NHL bench. That's yet to happen in the future. But she's kind of charting her way through the course. She was part of the staff that won gold at the Beijing Olympics with the women's team as an assistant. She was also the first female to coach at the men's youth sports level with Ryerson University. And this is another step forward in her progression.
Hockey Canada, meanwhile, has also started to reach out to potential players to fill out their roster for the upcoming World Men's Championship in Finland. Now, historically, we know this can be challenging, right? Players have had a long season. They don't always want to jump on that plane to head overseas. But this is a little bit different. And there are those who believe that it's the lure of the 2024 World Cup, because not only is management reaching out to players, but the players are reaching out to Hockey Canada to say, hey, if you're interested, I'm available.
You always get more interest, say, the year before an Olympics when they want to get their name out there, and now with this extra event as well. Good to hear.